So there's been a lot of talk about Nintendo and the Wii U and how poorly it's doing. Um, I think it's doing more. It's selling worse than the Wii at this point, apparently. I could be wrong about that, but it it really does look like they're emphasizing on the 3DS, and they're not really supporting the Wii U at all. It should have come out 2 years ago, um, when the 360 and the PS3 were going strong. Uh, because then there might be some interest in this hardware, but the problem is, so you got the TV and you got this tablet. It's basically working like a DS, and they did that before. That gimmick is over. Developers are no longer excited to program for this. Um, it's just there's just not much incentive for them, and people are looking towards new hardware like the PS4 and the Xbox One, and they're not excited about buying the Wii U. And there's just no games. I mean, there's a handful. There's a few, but there's just not enough to drive this console, the console sales. You're just not going to move units with the amount of games they have. I think Super Smash will help. Um, Mario Kart will help, but it's like, and I really don't think a Zelda will do anything for them when they. I mean, it'll do some, but I don't think people are excited about Zelda anymore. The last few have just kind of been rehashes of the old games, like Ocarina of Time. They keep remaking that thing. Um, I don't know. Nintendo needs something new. Pikmin is the closest thing to new they've had in a long time. I don't I don't know what they can do. I mean, what they need an exciting new property that's going to communicate well to the Western audience as well as the Eastern audience, because I think it's most of their fans are over there in Japan and the rest of Asia. Um, they really need some originality. They need to do what Japan has always done. Well, what Japan did in the past, which was innovating ideas. They saved the video game industry from permanent death, coming along and making the Nintendo after the Atari died. Um, they've in the past they were always innovating, always coming up with new ideas, and everyone's kind of iterating off of that. Most video game developers are dying now because they're not innovating anymore, and I think the only thing keeping Nintendo alive, well, that's an exaggeration, but what's making them successful now, um, is the fact that there's no handheld market. They own that market because there's no real competition. No one cares about the Vita. Uh, if there was anybody else that really knew what they were doing, I think they'd be in trouble. I really do. Um, uh, I think I wouldn't be shocked if they said no more console manufacturing. We're just going to focus on our handheld games and consoles. That would be smart for them. I would be pleased if they made a good phone or teamed up with, just started putting their games on cell phones. Um, that's probably not going to happen. It would be smart if they did, because even in Japan, there's more people playing games on phones than ever before, and that was like everyone said, well, at least Japan's still playing them, but it's less common now than it ever has been. Um, so they they really need to reevaluate what they're doing and come up with some new, fresh ideas and new games. Um, it's this console just came too late, so developers don't want to make anything for it. They'd rather make it for the new machines, and spread it across PS4, Xbox One, and PC and make more money. Um, but at any rate, it is actually you might be able to tell it is raining harder than it was, and even with this tree above me, I am getting wet. So I'm gonna take off.